the chaos of the coffee, and the charm of disaster. Clara's Monday morning was never exactly a symphony. It was more a cacophony of snoozed alarms and a frantic search for her other slipper. Today, however, promised to be a masterpiece of disaster. Running late for her job at the library, she tried to balance a stack of books, her purse, and a steaming coffee, all while battling a treacherous wind. Life, in its infinite wisdom, decided that this was the perfect moment for a handsome stranger, emerging from a bakery with a box of glazed donuts, to cross her path. The result was inevitable. A perfectly choreographed collision, worthy of a romantic comedy. Clara's coffee ended up as a dark, sticky stain on the stranger's immaculate white shirt. Books flew, one landing with a plop in a puddle, and the box of donuts. Well, let's just say the sidewalk now featured abstract, sugary art. "Oh my God, I am so sorry," Clara exclaimed, feeling a blush creep up to her ears. She awkwardly started dabbing the man's shirt with a napkin she found in her purse, only to make the stain worse. The man, instead of getting angry, let out a laugh. A warm, contagious laugh that made Clara look up. He had surprisingly amber-colored eyes and a smile that could brighten a gray day. "Don't worry about it," he said, still chuckling. "I think this shirt had already served its purpose. But are you okay? The coffee battle seems to have left your hair a bit expressive." The end. Clara touched her hair and felt a wild tangle. "Great! Just what I needed before an important meeting. I'm Clara, by the way." "I'm Alex," he replied, extending a hand that Clara hesitated to shake, conscious of her own sticky hands. "And my day has just started in a rather sweet and stained way." He picked up a donut that had miraculously landed intact. Truce with a donut? From that chaotic encounter, Clara and Alex began to accidentally run into each other quite often. It turned out that Alex owned the quaint little record store right next to the library. Their meetings almost always involved some sort of minor comedic disaster. Once, Alex slipped on a banana peel just as Clara was leaving with a stack of DVDs. He blamed banana karma. Another time, Clara spilled her chocolate milkshake on Alex's favorite sheet music. She made up for it with a giant ice cream. Each mishap became an excuse for a laugh, a longer conversation, and an invitation for coffee. This time, Alex always bought it and delivered it with extreme caution. They discovered they shared a love for B-movies, trivia nights, and the strange pleasure of hunting for antiques at flea markets. One afternoon, while helping Alex rearrange a vinyl section in his store, Clara tripped over a loose rug and, in an attempt to regain her balance, ended up falling directly into Alex's arms, knocking over a box full of jazz records that created a musical domino effect on the floor. "Oops," Clara said, her face pressed against Alex's chest, feeling the beat of his heart. Alex held her tightly, his smile inches from hers. "It seems you always find the most dramatic way to end up in my arms, Clara." Their eyes met, and this time, the air was filled with something more than the soundtrack of falling records. There were no loud laughs this time, just a soft smile from Alex and a blush on Clara's cheeks. They realized that the constant chaos surrounding them was, in fact, their own peculiar way of dancing together. A happy ending amidst records and books. Months turned into years, and Alex's small record shop became an unofficial meeting spot for Clara and her library friends. Clara and Alex's collisions became less frequent, not because the universe stopped its mischief, but because they were now a team, ready to face any mishap with a laugh and a knowing glance. They learned to laugh at umbrellas flying away in the wind, pizzas falling just before the door, and the times Alex accidentally put a rock album on the library's quiet loop. One sunny Saturday, while helping organize a charity book sale in the main square, a cotton candy stand spectacularly toppled over, covering Alex in a sticky pink cloud. Clara, instead of being horrified, burst into laughter. "You look adorable," she said between giggles, trying to pick some cotton candy off his nose. Alex, with a sugary smile, knelt amidst the stickiness and the murmuring crowd. "Clara," he said, with a sparkle in his amber eyes, "I know life with you is a beautiful, constant mess, and I wouldn't have it any other way." He pulled a small velvet box from his pocket, which, miraculously, was clean. "So, do you want to make this chaos ours forever?" Clara felt her heart race, covered in joy as Alex was in sugar. "Yes!" she exclaimed, hugging him tightly, not caring about the cotton candy. They got married a year later in a botanical garden, with a simple and laughter-filled ceremony. For the reception, instead of a traditional cake, they had a tower of glazed donuts, carefully protected from any mishaps. Their lives, while still having their moments of fun chaos, were filled with love, understanding, and the certainty that they had found their soulmate amidst a spilled coffee puddle and a handful of flying donuts. Clara and Alex proved that the most perfect love stories often begin in the most imperfect and fun ways.